up in suburbs of Metro Detroit, Michigan. My parents were heavily involved in church. My dad led worship for 30 years, and my mom was a deaconess in the church. All my brothers participated. Yeah, pretty stereotypical, just like very conservative, very Christian, accepted it as reality because there wasn't anything else put to me. I wasn't like, there was no competing theories or anything like that. It was just parents, family, church, school. Anything that I interacted with was mostly Christian, and then I was told that the outside world was sort of like other. I mean, I'd say sort of doubts or concerns started rising late teens, somewhere around there, but that was classified under normal because, like, you know, if you're a Christian, you have doubts, and that's a part of it. But it's not a part of it in the way that's like it's good. You know, no one's winning any prizes for like being really skeptical about their Christianity. It's just like, oh, you have doubts. That's natural. God will like work you through those kinds of things. So I would go to this Christian camp every year, and there were a couple instances where we would be worshiping and we'd be doing it for long enough that you would start to feel sort of sensations. I think that pretty much every time that I went to that camp, by like day 4 or 5, you really start to get some sort of emotional buildup, and that was interpreted as the realness of God or the Holy Spirit, you know. I do remember going to a Sigur Rós concert and feeling so incredibly moved and connected to whatever was happening at that moment that I don't think I realized it in real time, but later looking back, and I realized that moment where I was so connected to what they were playing on the stage was very similar to what I felt when I was worshiping either at camp or in just a regular service. And that really started to shake things because I realized that my connection was with music mostly, that I could get the similar sensations from going to a secular show that I could going to worship. And to have that foundation start to be shaken by, oh, I can get the same sort of feelings from this other source that has nothing to do with this entire belief system in God, that really started to mess with my head a little bit, you know. The thing with playing drums when you're doing a worship service is that you really control the emotion and the tempo and the drive of the song. You're the backbone of the music. And from my perspective, looking out to everybody worshiping, if I can tell that like not a lot of people are like really feeling into the spirit of the Lord, if I can raise that level by just playing more intentionally and with more dramatic effect and making the crescendo more intense, I can actually get more hands in the air. And I think that also was a pretty big part of it too, is like, oh shit, I can like kind of control this a little bit. Like it's not so much like, I don't even have to feel like God is working through me. Like I can just do this with no like feeling of spiritual influence at all. I can just make people worship more. That I think really started to mess with my interpretation of what being on the other side of worship was like, you know, because then I would be in the stands worshiping and I would think those thoughts like, okay, how much are these people who are leading us in worship aware that they're kind of just like controlling my emotions? That compounded with the Sigur Rós experience too was like really shook that foundation pretty seriously.
Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, oh, take and seal it for thy courts above.